Right, so I run my own tanning business from home, okay? And it means that I can homeschool my children. I homeschool my two youngest kids, and I have five altogether, and my other kids go off to school and have graduated. So being able to work from home is something that is huge for me, and I have a lot of goals. So when I found this side hustle, an extension to my home business, it means that my goals will become more of a reality sooner. Basically what it is the $10 business. If you're not knowing what the $10 business is just yet, then you need to drop a comment in the comment section for more information, and I'll get you some more information about it. But basically you get paid weekly and monthly, and it's a subscription-based business, so you just pay your $9.95 a month. That's like 2 cups of coffee a month. That's like nothing. I'm sure you have a Costco or a Amazon or a Netflix subscription. The only difference here is that you actually get some money back. So I made my sign-up fee, which was $40 to sign up, one-off payment, and then my first month, so $50 all up, which was all that's required, which is super affordable for a startup of a business. And then I managed to get that money back within 24 hours, as well as some extra. So I highly recommend that if you're a go-getter and you are keen to find some extra finances for goals, for combating cost of living, for whatever reason, to be able to afford the increase of everything at the moment, drop me a comment in the comment section and I'll get you the info. Okay, bye.
Welcome to a day in the life as someone living in their car. We kind of start bright and early, try to wake up around 6 in the morning to 7. And these are my shoes that are just outside. This is what my car looks like in the morning. Freaking Snorlax, badass, still sleeping. I tidy up a bit and then I just get ready in the car. I've been doing this for about a month now, and I think that I'm finally learning to accept what it happened. It wasn't a decision that I planned on making, but it was something that I knew was bound to happen sooner or later. But regardless, I guess it was my decision at the end. It's still something that I'm adjusting to, but something that I am a lot more comfortable with. Okay, next is the gym, and we enjoy some music on our way there. The gym is also something I've been slacking, but today is quad, and here I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't even stand up. I had a short workout because I wasn't feeling it, so next is the shower. And I don't know about y'all gyms, but my gym's water is cold as a y'all, I'm homeless and it shows, because this is exactly what it looked like walking out of the gym. This day was a really good day, so I took my breakfast out and sat at a park bench. But these pancakes... Anyways, there was mad people at the park, so instead I went inside the car and did my nails. Can you guess the color? Yup, black like my soul. Today I worked, so right before that I went to fill up my water jug. I have to bungee cord this or else I'd be flopping around everywhere in the car. Once I park, Peromi and Snorlax guard the fort, and I take all my shit. Then I'd just be hella working, and surprise, surprise, I changed my hairstyle. I was pretty beat at the end of the day, so I'm just walking to my car and I get ready for bed. I have a big old mess because I just did my lashes right now. As you can tell, I don't know if you can tell, but thank you guys for watching and thank you guys for coming along. Have a good one. Bye.
Just did daycare, day 2 drop off, and I feel like it was harder. I feel like she screamed harder. I feel like because she knew it was coming. She knew what I was doing as soon as we walked into the building. And I feel like today was worse. And I just don't know. There's a train. I just hate that the world we live in right now, you can't live off of one income, even if it's a large income. Like, it's so stupid that I have to choose between staying home all day with my baby and buying a house and putting a roof over her head. I don't want to choose, but I have to. And that's the world we live in, and I think that is unfair to all mothers. So, I just want to say, if you're a working mom, see you, love you, and I hate it here.
If you're in your mid to late 30s and you have 2 kids and you're married, I think this is the amount of money that you need in order for you and your partner to not work at all, probably for the rest of your life. If you invested properly and you don't spend too much on, lavish things, I think this could last probably for the rest of your life. I used to think it was 5 million. Now I think it's this. I think 5 million is if one of you doesn't want to work. 7, that like solidifies both of you not having to work. Like wake up and do something for money for the rest of your lives. You could lease 2 new nice cars every few years. I think you could still send your kids to college for free. You may not need to do private school, but they could do other activities that cost money. They could even have like some sort of random expensive thing that they want to do. Like let's say they're in horseback riding. I think you could even pull that off for your kids. I think that's the amount if you and your partner don't want to work.
I'm broke. I live in my car and I work at Jack in the Box. And tonight I have a graveyard shift. I hate working graveyard shift because then that means I have to sleep in my car in the daytime. And I don't mind sleeping in the daytime. It's just that because of summer, it can get pretty hot inside the car. I've been saving up my Jack in the Box paychecks to be able to save up to get an apartment or a room or something just so I can get by for the summer. Everything is super expensive. I'm only 18 years old and there's no way in hell I can afford a regular rent. So now I'm only going to be looking for a room to rent. But I'm just so scared because you're basically like living with a stranger and I'm just scared. Honestly, I am thinking of getting a second job. I do make a little bit of money here on TikTok. Not a lot. Last month I made $500 and I'm hoping to make more this month. So I've been posting a little bit more. But tomorrow I'm gonna go look at 2 rooms and hopefully they are good people. But anyways, I just got to work. I'm gonna clock in. I'll talk to you guys later.
When I say don't record yourself doing a crime, edit the video, put commentary, and post it online, y'all just be ignoring me. Y'all just keep scrolling. It's evident every day on this app. I'm scrolling, and I see a video of a man living in a storage unit. The fact that you live in a storage unit is A-okay by me. I don't see, some call you a trespasser. I call you a financial planner, if you will. But one thing, baby, you can't live in a storage unit. It is unlawful in most, if not every state, to live in a storage unit. You see what I'm saying? So I watched the video and I was perplexed because I felt like you had a great plan. Excellent plan. You're going to live in that storage unit. You got your food. I saw you do a little cartwheel. You got your exercise. You got your girl with you. You're saving money. You stacking up until you can buy a place, but then you posted it on the internet. And had you posted that and you were on Ellen the next day and it really put you into a whole nother level of money and checks and notoriety and sponsorships, I'll shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But from what I saw, the person got evicted. So that's the thing. I want us to just, if we're doing something, and maybe you didn't know it was unlawful, baby, and maybe you didn't know, but it is. So I just want us all to take this lesson, take heed. Stop recording yourself doing shit you ain't supposed to be doing and posting it online. That's it. That's all. But you don't got to take my word for it. Yeah, who am I?
This might be a hot take, but the guy that's living in the storage unit, he was recording himself living in there. Yes, that might be illegal, but I don't understand why everyone is making fun of him, that he's living in a storage unit. He seems happy that he has a roof over his head, that he's not living in the streets. And then on top of that, like, I see some videos where they're talking about the woman in the video and they're like, oh, a woman will stick by a broke man and be happy living in that storage unit. She's homeless. She doesn't have a home. If someone were to house her, that could be a dangerous situation where they're trying to take advantage of her. If she can find a roof over her head and the person can keep her safe, I don't see why you wouldn't do that. Who's going around picking up homeless women on the street unless you have an ulterior motive? So with this conversation is we're making fun of people living in storage units, but why are people living in storage units if it isn't the system that we live in? I don't believe that everyone has the right to be housed. That should be a basic necessity. To be making fun of somebody for living in a storage unit, I don't understand that. When you know how it is living out here. You know how it is paying bills and making sure you have food in your stomach and making sure you still have a roof over your head. And a lot of us are this close. Some of us are like this close, working paycheck to paycheck to make sure the roof is over our heads. And you're making fun of him because he's living in a storage unit, and he's happy that he's living in a storage unit, and he's grateful he's living in a storage unit. Mind you, I don't know their backstory. This is just what I'm seeing. The storage unit, the fact that they're even unhoused, like, is a problem with the system that we live in. The problem with late stage capitalism. I don't see a reason why we should be making fun of them for trying to survive.
Our grocery bills will keep getting doubled and tripled. I'm not the one who's saying this. It is right here on the report. Food prices will increase by 3 to 5%. That is an increase of $801.56 from last year. Our new prime minister also stated that we will be saving $850 from groceries. I don't know how that's going to happen because the math doesn't add up to me. And here's the food price forecast for 2025. As you can see, everything here is pretty much doubled. So how can you really save $850, when you're actually paying more? I don't get that. Now, let's talk about this comment real quick. I made a video stating that a friend of mine went to Nova Scotia and he went to Costco. He purchased a case of water. He had to pay $10 for it. The same case of water in Ontario, we paid $3 for it at Costco. Okay? This person said that I'm lying. If the water cost $6, the total would be at $6.90. How did it get to $10? I don't know. Ask your liberal government. The same reason the math doesn't add up to you, it doesn't add up to me as well. But liberals will never take accountability for that. It's been happening for the past 10 years, and it's going to keep happening for the next 10 years. Then you got people like me who's talking about it, then you say I'm bullshitting. And this is another comment from the same video, stating that this guy lying. Stop spreading misinformation, especially as a black man. Well, for starters, what the fuck does my race have to do with that? But anyway, I came with the facts. Am I lying now?
All right, so Coles and Woolies have said they're going to be slashing, demolishing prices for all of us from tomorrow. So let's check out some of the options. All right, so from tomorrow at Woolies, you will get 10 cents off your white sandwich bread. You'll get 10 cents off your oats and 40 cents off your yogurt. And even $1.50 off your chicken. But the bread, 10 cents, fucking bargain, winning. And at Coles, $1.50 off some beef, 30 cents off seed and grain loaf. My nana will be so excited. The CEO is just like, guys, you're going to at least save $15 a shop. Like, woo, we can just buy so much bread. Can't wait. Like, you can't actually make this shit up. Do they think that we're stupid?
How does all of that impact our well-being? Oh, it absolutely has an impact. You look at LA, the cost of living around here is 51% higher, and housing in particular, 127% higher than the national average. I know, it makes all of our hearts pound a bit. We see that when people are stressed with their housing situation, it leads to 2 times more likelihood of anxiety and depression.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said children too. It has even higher impact.
Yes. So the MacArthur Foundation found that when children have housing insecurity, it is the single strongest predictor of emotional and behavioral problems. So this not only affects adults, but it impacts our kids even more so.
Sometimes I really hate that I have to pay to live. Like, much better. Much better. I gotta pay to see. I gotta pay to breathe. I gotta pay to not have insane thoughts and worry about non-existent things. Oh gosh. I gotta pay to eat. Gotta pay for water. Sometimes, honestly, living is a scam. Oh my gosh. Like, why do I have to pay for all of these things in order to literally live? This thing was like $30. And it's not even the prescription one, which I'm thankful for because I didn't want to go to the doctor to get it prescribed. Would it have been cheaper if I went to the doctor? Probably, yeah. But sometimes you don't want to pay that. You don't want to pay the fee to go to the doctor and then the fee to get what you need to breathe.
9 times out of 10, you working a job right now, you living paycheck to paycheck. They saying you need anywhere from $7,000 to $9,000 to carry you through this summer on top of the money that you already make. So that means if you got 2 jobs right now, you still need an extra $7,000 to $9,000. If you got 1 job right now, you still need an extra $7,000 to $9,000. If you got 1 job in the side hustle, you still need an extra $7,000 to $9,000. I say you need anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 just to be on the safe side to have that cushion, because you still want to take trips, you still want to have fun in the summertime, you still got kids.
Oh, the stock market is doing great. America is doing great. The stock market. The stock market. What about the grocery store? I just skipped buying lemons because they were $1 a piece. They're not even imported. They're from California. $1 for 1 lemon. Hello? I'm not buying organic. I'm not shopping at high-end grocery stores. There's no reason a lemon should be $1. What about limes? 85 cents for 1 lime. 85 cents. 2 weeks ago, bananas, 49 cents a pound. Today, 72 cents a pound. In 2 weeks. Since January, the cheap ground beef, the 80-20 stuff, has gone from about $4 a pound to almost $6.50 a pound for the cheapest option. Husband and I spend $100 a week on groceries. We cook almost all of our meals at home. We rarely eat out. And we are not able to stretch $100 across a week anymore for just 2 of them. 95% of my grocery shopping happens at Lidl, Costco, or Aldi. It doesn't matter anymore. So who gives a shit about the stock market? That is not what is affecting everyday people right now. We cannot afford to feed ourselves.
A few years ago, I remember there were videos of Canadian citizens like sitting in their cars crying about the high cost of living, that they cannot afford groceries or like basic necessities. I didn't really understand it at the time because the last time that I went to Canada, like 7 years ago, it was perfectly affordable for me. But last week I went to Montreal and I completely understand now. I was really ill prepared for the trip, so once I actually went there, I had to buy these basic necessities like toothpaste, toothbrush, body wash, things like that. And when I saw the prices for these items in their grocery store, my jaw dropped. I kid you not, but body wash was $14, toothpaste was like $12, like 1 toothbrush was like $7. And some people will say, well, you get paid in USD, you know, the currency is stronger. But what about the people who get paid in CAD? That's not really an excuse because the price itself is crazy for the people who actually live there. And another crazy thing that I noticed was the tax. Like, tax in Canada is crazy. I remember I ordered these 2 items on Uber, which together was like $13. Y'all, tell me why they added $10 tax on these 2 small items. Throughout my time being there, I just found it absurd that like the price that I initially thought I was going to pay was nowhere near what I actually ended up paying. And of course, this is me speaking as a New Yorker, but I found New York City a lot more affordable than Montreal. And maybe I didn't know the proper places to go. But for example, for the basic necessities, I went to a couple of stores and the price did not get better. But another thing is that I've noticed prices skyrocket in general. When I was living in Buffalo and traveling to Toronto very often, it was so I can get this particular service by this Canadian practitioner. And I recently thought that I would go visit her again. Her price almost tripled, you guys. So it's not just with like these basic necessities, it's with everything. My friends who live in Montreal as well was talking about how expensive it is for them to rent an apartment there. It's almost the same price as it would be in New York City, but the pay is nowhere near what you would get here. And so, yeah, I don't know what has happened to Canada in like these last 7 years, but I was completely shocked when I went there and saw what I saw. So now I understand those videos where people were like crying and asking for help, pleading, like what is going on?
So we moved back to Dublin in 2022 from Australia, and we literally did not have much in savings. When I mean not much, I mean just enough to like buy cars and get us set up again. We are now fortunate enough to be sale agreed on a property. We've been sale agreed since January. We're hopefully going to settle in the next few months. But it took us over 2 years to get to the point where we're able to buy our own house. I get a lot of questions from people asking me, you know, should they move back to Ireland? What's it like living here, etc., etc. And my one big advice is come back with savings if you want your own house, because if you try to rent and save, In most scenarios, it's not realistic. Or if you have family, the compromise is that you're going to be living with your family for a little while. That is reality of buying a house here and being able to afford all the costs and everything that goes with buying a house. I honestly don't think this is unique to Ireland. I get lots of comments of people still living in Perth in Australia and they're experiencing the same thing, high rents, prices of houses have gone through the roof. But if you were asking me the question, that would be my answer.
Hi, how are you guys? Working off of a Get Marty tip, we found the Ashbaugh family living here in the storage unit. Actually, they have 2 units, and they've been living here for a while, for months.
You've been here a month? At least. Well, actually, it's coming up on 2 months.
You're a strong woman. Jacqueline Ashbaugh tells me it's been 2 months since her husband and 3 kids moved into this storage unit. No electricity, no running water, nothing but a space and metal doors, and they sleep here.
What do you do at night? You sleep this open? No, we come in and we close it.
Doesn't it get...
That's why it's open right now. I can't have him sleeping in there with the doors closed. He'll overheat.
Peer back into the storage unit. You could see the mattress where the 5 members of the Ashbaugh family sleep every night, including 3 children. With the steel doors closed, no electricity and no plumbing. It's illegal and it's dangerous. The only light from a cell phone.
Phone light, yeah, but that kills the battery.
Jacqueline asked us for help. We immediately called the Allegheny County Department of Human Services. Sources tell me they made contact with the family. I'm also told the family is right now in emergency housing.
There's definitely hope and services available to them.
Abigail Horn is with the Allegheny Department of Human Services. She is not allowed to talk about the Ashbaugh case, but promises folks who ask get help.
There's definitely help available. Of course, individuals and families are all dealing with the challenges that life brings them. And so certainly families, households do find themselves in difficult situations.
No one believes a family of 5 should have to ever sleep in a room like this, inside a storage unit, under any circumstances.
That's the finished product, y'all. What y'all think? You go to that mattress. I got it. I'm about to sit, see how it turned out.